ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ओम परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री वेद व्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्त गुरूणां ऋषीणां मुनीनां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातुः अनुग्रहेण समस्त उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे अवाप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं विश्वशान्तिकल्याणार्थं समस्त साधक भक्त उपासक धर्म संस्थापक सेवकानां विघ्ननिवारण शक्तीनाम् अवाप्त्यर्थं श्री सूर्य उपनिषदः पारायणं श्री तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः श्री आदिशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणं। Today we will do Shri Surya Upanishad Parayanam. As we said, every day for some time, Veda Parayanam adds to lot of divinity, merit, and also invokes grace of Bhagavan. Let us try to do all that with our focused attention. Then it will be of more beauty and more use. ओम अथ सूर्योपनिषद। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम अथ सूर्याथर्वाङ्गिरसं व्याख्यास्यामः ब्रह्मा ऋषिः गायत्री छन्दः आदित्यो देवता हंसः सोऽहमग्निनारायणयुक्तं बीजं हृल्लेखा शक्तिः वेदादिसर्गसंयुक्तं कीलकं चतुर्विधपुरुषार्थसिद्ध्यर्थे विनियोगः। षट्स्वरारूढेन बीजेन षडङ्गं रक्ताम्बुजसंस्थितं सप्ताश्वरथिनं हिरण्यवर्णं चतुर्भुजं पद्मद्वयाभयवरदहस्तं कालचक्रप्रणेतारं श्रीसूर्यनारायणं य एवं वेद स वै ब्राह्मणः। ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्तुषश्च सूर्याद्वै खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते। सूर्याद्यज्ञः पर्जन्योऽन्नमात्मा नमस्ते आदित्य त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं कर्म कर्तासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं विष्णुरसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं रुद्रोऽसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं मृगसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं यजुरसि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं सामासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षमथर्वासि त्वमेव सर्वं छन्दोषि आदित्याद् वायुर्जायते आदित्याद् भूमिर्जायते आदित्यादापो जायन्ते आदित्याद् ज्योतिर्जायते आदित्याद् व्योमदिशो जायन्ते आदित्याद् देवा जायन्ते आदित्याद् वेदा जायन्ते आदित्यो वा एष एतन्मण्डलं तपते असावादित्यो ब्रह्मा आदित्योऽन्तःकरणमनो बुद्धिचित्ताहङ्काराः आदित्यो वै व्यानः समानो दानोपानप्राणः आदित्यो वै श्रोत्रत्वक्चक्षुरसनघ्राणाः आदित्यो वै वाक्पाणिपादपायूपस्थाः आदित्यो वै शब्दस्पर्शरूपरसगन्धाः आदित्यो वै वचनादानागमनविसर्गानन्दाः आनन्दमयो विज्ञानगण आदित्यः नमो मित्राय भानवे मृत्योर्मा पाहि भ्राजिष्णवे विश्वहेतवे नमः सूर्याद्भवन्ति भूतानि सूर्येण पालितानि तो सूर्ये लयं प्राप्नुवन्ति यः सूर्यः सोऽहमेव च चक्षुर्नो देवः सविता चक्षुर्न उत पर्वतः चक्षुर्धाता दधातु नः आदित्याय विद्महे सहस्रकिरणाय धीमहि तन्नः सूर्यः प्रचोदयात् सविता पुरस्तात् सविता पश्चात्तात् सवितोत्तरात्तात् सविता धरात्तात् सविता नः सुवतु सर्वतातिगं सविता नो रासतां दीर्घमायुः ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्मा गृणिरिति द्वे अक्षरे सूर्य इत्यक्षरद्वयम् आदित्य इति त्रीण्यक्षराणि एतस्यैव सूर्यस्याष्टाक्षरो मनोः यः सदा हरहर्जवते स वै ब्राह्मणो भवते स वै ब्राह्मणो भवते सूर्याभिमुखो जप्त्वा महाव्याधिभयात् प्रमुच्यते अलक्ष्मीर्नश्यते अभक्ष्यभक्षणात् पूतो भवति अगम्यागमनात् पूतो भवति पतितसम्भाषणात् पूतो भवति असत्सम्भाषणात् पूतो भवति मध्याह्ने सूर्याभिमुखः पठेत् सद्योत्पन्नपञ्चमहापातकात् प्रमुच्यते सैषा सावित्रीं विद्यां न किञ्चिदपि न कस्मैचित् प्रशंसयेत् य एतां महाभागः प्रातः पठति स भाग्यवान् जायते पशून् विन्दति वेदार्थं लभते त्रिकालमेतज्जप्त्वा क्रतुशतफलमवाप्नोति हस्तादित्ये जपति स महामृत्युं धरति स महामृत्युं धरति य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. Tomorrow we will chant गणपति अथर्वशीर्ष. ओम अथ श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद. ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः. यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान्नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते. ॐ शान्तिमन्त्रः. ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः. नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः। ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिदेते तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाश सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोस्तेजः तेजस आपः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणपक्षः अयमुत्तरपक्षः अयमात्मा इदं बुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। सैल्यूटिंग भगवान वेदव्यास, वैशंपायन, याज्ञवल्क्य, आद्य शंकर and all our gurus. Saluting all Brahma Vidya Acharyas, Rishis, Munis, Devatas of all times. Saluting Parabrahma Tattva, saluting the Shruti Mata, invoking their grace. We are in this second Brahmananda Valli Adhyanam of this Taittiriya Upanishad. Not only in this Upanishad's context, but in the context of all the Upanishads, and not only all Upanishads, but entire Vedanta, entire Vedas. Not only in that, but in the context of our own life, our own spiritual ambitions or goals fulfillment. This topic is the most important one. If we can have the patience to pause here, if we can have the commitment to put all our intellectual efforts to thoroughly understand this Prathama Anuvaka with all the Bhashyam given by Shankara, we have done a great service to ourselves. We have done a great help to ourselves, because herein lies what is said in all Shastras regarding the Mukti, regarding the Brahma Prapti or Anubhuti, Brahma Anveshanam, Brahma Vicharana. As directly, simply, completely Brahman explained here and commented by Bhagavan Shankara, many other places it is not so correct, complete and direct. It is so pakka here. But we have to be little alert in our intellect to see what is beyond the words and words meaning. If you have that subtle intuitive power, subtle that grace of God and Guru to pierce through the words, and if we can understand it, then all the, what happens, the vaguenesses, doubts, wrong understandings, misunderstanding regarding the actual spiritual sadhana, they are replaced by the correct apprehension, understanding of what exactly we have to do sadhana on the seat of dhyana. Now, if you complement both our morning 2 classes of Yoga Darshanam and Vedanta, along with the evening class of Bhagavad Ramayana, let's say the Bhagavad Ramayana are helping us to tune to the Lord for invoking His grace. The Yoga Darshanam tells us, make the Chitta Ekagra and Niruddha. Then here our Vedanta Darshanam tells, with that fully mastered Antakarana, देखो, these are the Lakshanas of Brahma, contemplating on that Brahma, reaching nearer and nearer to Brahma in the understanding, followed by becoming more closer and closer to Brahma through Vyatireka Anvaya. See to it that you become one with that Brahma. That becoming is just discovery. The darshana paratvat brahmanah prapti apraptyoho apekshatvat. This is how our life has to be put in these borders, not going beyond that, our spiritual sadhana. So, if you can really daily do it, what's the problem for us is that by God's grace, our effort, little ekagrata or sattva the mind comes to. With that, we are able to listen to class. That itself is a great congratulationable achievement. But later on, again, the mana buddhi, again through senses body, goes into the world, enters into all other three bhumikas. Again, therefore, it appears that the knowledge gained is forgotten. So, whole day is lived in the samsara. Again, because of our consistency, at this time, mana buddhi becomes sattvika. Again, we come to class, listen. But again, we are forgetting. So this listening should be very pakka with a commitment that I will contemplate on this knowledge for thorough understanding. Then I will do dhyanam on that to experience these thoughts while listening only. When we send into ourselves and even beyond the class or before the class also, little time if you start giving to contemplate through these mantras and their meaning on the truth, we are slowly nearing to the truth. We have to do all that. It all appears to be vague in the beginning. That is how it is. But consistently, when we do something which is beyond easy intellectual apprehension, that we start apprehending. It's really a different जादू it is when that is understood. अरे यही तो था, इतने साल से कहाँ छुप गया है, मैं ये बात क्यों नहीं समझा, ऐसा लगता है हमको once we understand it. So now coming to the point, second Valli started with the Prathamanuvakam, Brahmavid apnoti param. Contemplate on this every day and come to the thorough conclusion, undoubted conviction that only the knower of Brahman obtains ultimate. Ultimate again is Brahman only. So Brahma Jnana makes me Brahma Anubhavi. That alone is Param. And other than that, everything is Aparam. Aparam is, it again takes me back to my own a limited level of Jiva Dehadi Samsara. Therefore, Brahmavid apnoti param. Therefore, I, my life will spend only for Brahmavidya, Brahmavidya, Brahmavidya. This is what 100,000 times when we send into ourselves these thoughts, they will defeat or eliminate or reduce the power of the other thoughts of ours, wanting to know this, wanting to put efforts for that, wanting to gain this, wanting to embrace this, wanting to enjoy this, wanting to indulge in this. How many thousands of things we have in our mind, of which we are knowing, we are wanting, we are doing, we are gaining, we are indulging. Because of all that rush and gush of our life toward the Artha Kama, we are not able to focus on the Mukti giving Brahma Prapti. Those all sankalpas have to be replaced by, eliminated by, defeated by, sublimated by this thought that Brahma Vidya gives Param, therefore I will get Brahma Vidya, I will gain Brahma Vidya, I will obtain Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya is in Upanishads. Upanishads are taught to me by the Guru. From the Guru I will listen, but Guru only can teach me. I have to take the text in my hand. Then again, every word, it's Bhashyam. I have to repeatedly study, contemplate. Then only the thorough knowledge about what exactly Brahman comes to me, intellectual. That holding on to intellectual knowledge, again on the dhyana abhyasa, I will try to be the two. When it is done for the sufficient period of time, which we don't know, but sufficient period of time, then all the Abrahma vichara, Abrahma tadatmya, all that goes away. I become one with Brahman. Then that paraprapti happens to me. Other than that, from so many lives, in this life also, I wanted to achieve this or that. I tried to achieve this or that. I achieved this or that. I involved in this or that. But none of these or that gave me satisfaction. Rather, every one of them disappointed me only. They never gave me the expected trupti. They never made me stop here. Each of them, because they are incomplete, made me run from one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. Like that, every moment to moment, every hour to hour, every day to day, every year to year, every life to life. I was running from pillar to post of one ignorance to other ignorance, one delusion to other delusion, one desire to other desire, one effort to the other effort, one disappointment, frustration to the other only. Enough of all that. Now let me try this. This is how this Brahmavid apnoti param, this Vakyam, along with what Bhashyakara gave us, such a beautiful explanation. These thoughts also, when we add and the precipitation of it, the outcome of it must be at the intellectual level, other than Brahma Prapti, through that Para Prapti, I want nothing else. I want nothing else. That should start becoming stronger. On this only is depending our further study of the Upanishad and the depth of study. Followed by that, whatever sadhanas to be done, the knowledge of those sadhanas. Then only actually doing those sadhanas to reach out. This is called as Ekagra Chitta. This clarity comes to us when our Antakarana is Shuddha, which is achieved through little Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. With all those three, when the chitta is made shuddha, ekagrata is gained, bharosa on Bhagavan is developed, then sattva is developed. With that, these mantras, when in this spirit studied, heard, contemplated, the consequence of all that is what? At every and any cost and price, I will achieve the param, and the param achieved is only through Brahma Vidya. Therefore, at every cost and price, I will obtain Brahma Vidya in theory, in practice. That is the golden day in our life. When this thought becomes not only stronger, but that alone is the thought is there. There is no other thought replacing it or making us forget this thought. Next step is then I must do that sadhana quickly. Every moment of mine I'll celebrate only for, I'll utilize only for that. In this attitude, whoever have tried, they all achieved. Just like any achievement in the world. The quickness of the achievement, the magnanimity of the achievement, the depth of the achievement in the world depends on how intense we are in our efforts. The intensity of efforts is defined or decided by how deep is our desire to know it or gain it. When the desire to gain it is very vague, then our efforts and achievement is also not as best as it could have been. In spirituality also, that is called as Tivra Jignasa, Tivra Mumukshuta, Tivra Shubhecha. Every one of us have Jignasa, Mumukshuta, Shubhecha. But still, why we are not doing sadhana? Because they are not Tivra. Tivra means very, very, very deep, strong. Just like when you are so thirsty in the summer hot, how much we have the Tivrata of trying to find that source of water. We are extremely hungry. How do you look for the food? When you are extremely deeply sleepy, how do you try to find the time or the way for sleeping? Understand? That much tivrata, if it is not there, all our efforts will not be for the Brahma Vidya Prapti exclusively. They'll be distracted, they'll be diverted to many channels. But Brahma Vidya demands exclusive efforts, not only because of the subtlety of the subject, but the Brahman being one without second, anything other than Brahman attended is nullifying or cancelling or neutralizing or opposing the, the effort itself of Brahma Prapti. ब्रह्म प्राप्ति में ब्रह्म के अलावा और कुछ नहीं होता, इसलिए और किसी के ऊपर दृष्टि लगाना ब्रह्म विद्या प्राप्ति के प्रयत्न का खिलाफ जाना है. That is why it needs exclusive efforts. And it being so subtle also, it needs exclusive efforts. Therefore, when the Tivra Mamukshata, Tivra Jignasa are there, all our efforts would be directed only to this. That is the beginning point. That is like Rishikesh. From there, you start going up above the mountains. That is like the Baltal. From there you start. That is like the Vaishno Devi Mata ka jo charana hai, niche, where you start climbing. You have to go up to that foothill, then the climbing starts. Gauri Kundu, you go to Kedarnath. That's the first step. Then real climb starts there. In the same way, coming up to that Tivra Jignasa, where exclusively we have to put the efforts only for Brahma Vidya and we are convinced about it, that is the meaning of reaching to that foothill. Then the climb starts. है कि नहीं, पूरे दुनिया को सबको छोड़कर आप वो फुटहिल तक जाओगे, तब जाकर एकाग्रता से आपका जर्नी आगे बढ़ता है. It is everybody's experience. Whoever have climbed Vaishno Devi, Kedarnath, Yamunotri, Kailas, they all know that once they start journey, everything else they forget. Their focus is only on that. But that depends on they have negotiated with everything and came up to that first point of climbing. Secondly, they have a deep desire for having the darshan of their Bhagavan. Those who don't have that jignasa, they don't even start from home. They are at home only eating, sleeping like buffaloes. But those who have the jignasa, abhilasha for Mata Ranika darshan, irrespective of the age or health condition, they go there, they try, they have darshan. The others, they won't. So the Shastra Adhyanam that way caters to all these needs. It tells us the limitations of the worldliness, like we saw yesterday, how Vasishthaji taught through Bharatji to all of us. It also tells us the Shastra, glory of the Brahma Prapti. It also makes us how to negotiate our life and come up the foothill called as Panchakosha Viveka and Vairagya from that. Then it tells us also how to contemplate on the truth, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This is how Shastra has got all those weapons to prepare us at every way. Finally, up to reaching the Brahman, they guide us if we hold on to them. Like the guides, the Sherpas, if you really trust them from the point of starting till reaching the ultimate, the summit, and coming back, they help us. So beautiful they are. Yes, you have to pay some money to them. Guru and Shastra, when you pay the money of Shraddha, Bhakti, Ananyata, Saranagati to them, they take us to the summit of Am Brahmasmi. We have to have that faith. Okay? Now we have seen Brahmavida apnoti param. What is the literal meaning? Brahma vruddhatamatvat vedyate iti brahmavit. Apnoti is prapnoti. Param means niratishayam. Niratishayam brahma eva. Ataha brahmavit brahma eva apnoti. See how we have to remember the sentence and its meaning. Then in that, what is the meaning of apti or prapti is, it is not the apraptasya prapti. Then it is praptasya prapti. How do you say this contradictory word of praptasya prapti? It is not contradiction. Then praptaha api brahma adarsanatvad apraptaha iva. Darshanat praptavatu. Therefore, Brahma adarshana is Brahma aprapti. Brahma darshana is Brahma prapti. Otherwise, Brahman is always there. I am that only. And our present position is, though I am Brahman, I am not having that experience because I don't have the darshan of it. Therefore, like the 10th man's example, somebody will have to show me. And only the showing they do. But seeing is our job. The man will tell you are the 10th one. Then he should find he is the one whom he thought he is lost and suffering. So too, when they show the goal and the means, it is we who have to become deeply introverted and contemplative. And as they are showing, so focusing, we have to see. The moment the darshan happens, the prapti happens. So, Brahmavid apnoti param, we have thoroughly studied. Then came, what are the lakshanas of this Brahman? And this Lakshana Yukta Brahmana has to be found as Atmatvena, Pratyagatmatvena. That Pratyagatma Brahman has to be found as Sarvatma. That Sarvatma Brahman alone is sarva samsara dharma vivarjitaha. Then only the samsara will end. That was the Brahmavidapnoti Param explained. Then, therefore, for the purpose of these three things, what are the three? Brahma Lakshana should be told. It should be recognized as Pratyagatma, and that is as Sarvatma. So, in the first Anuvaka, Lakshanas are told. In the subsequent Anuvakas, it will be proved to be Pratyagatma through all the Panchakosha Viveka. After that, that Pratyagatma alone is Sarvatma Brahma. As the Sarvatma Brahma, Anubhuti comes, much before Anubhuti. Even the intellectual understanding is very thorough. Then we know that as a Brahman, because I am all pervading, endless, eternal, immutable, I need not and should not come down to the level of Jiva through the upadhis of the Panchakosha Tadatmya and suffer. That Vairagya comes there. No need of getting bound and suffering. See, the world is not holding at all us. We only are holding the world and suffering. I being the infinite Brahman, why am I identifying with this Panchakosha Deha? When I should not identify this Panchakosha Deha, how can I identify with the either other Panchamahabhuta made world? This is the genuine Vairagya. At that time only, suddenly, like the cloud burst hota hai, though I give negative example, all the curtain of Maya delusion just falls. Thereafter, the same world we are in, but not like earlier, continuously getting involved and attached. We are like Padma Patra Mivambasa at that time. With the same people, things we are around, like we were. But earlier we used to be Chipko 5, Chipko 5. I mean, no Chipko. It is unnecessary suffering. I am not even these Panchakoshas. How can I identify these Panchakoshas? How can I relate with these Panchakoshas at the cost of my own Brahma Tattva? The moment that the knowledge dawns, all the Raga Dvesha which were creating havoc in our life, just they fizzle out. This is a great achievement if we can have it. Then more and more seeking the truth only on the seat of meditation, that will happen to us. Okay. So this is how this Upanishad is systematically guiding us. Again, this being such a highest level of literature, again and again and again and again when you study only the connections, the intricacies, the subtleties, the explanations, and the theme explained through and the sadhana involved, these things we start comprehending. All that will happen not only when we have that intense Guru Bhakti and Narayana Ishvara Bhakti, but we love our Shastras. We trust our Shastras. We have faith in them that they are expression of God. Therefore, they have all capacity to reach us to the Paraprapti. In this prema, when you have for Shastra, some of you have, that is why you are coming regularly. One of the greatest achievement in life is to have that Ananya Prema for our Mukti giving, Jnana giving, Sanatana Dharma Shastras. That's the most beautiful thing. Very rare if you have. Many have the love for God, love for Guru, and love for this and that upasanas, but not for Shastra. Therefore, through all that, they get little vague knowledge or some punyam, some sukham, but not moksha. Because moksha is given only moksha shastra. Moksha shastra, adhyanam only will tell us what is moksha, how to achieve it. We are trying from last years this one. We have just started. Not giving up when you continue doing it, then all the pus, all the kalmasha, all the kashmala, which was not allowing us to pursue Brahma Vidya through the Veda Shastra Adhenam, that will go away. Then we love the goal, we love the Shastra, we love the sadhana, we love the journey also. That stage should come in our life as soon as possible. Now, having this way concluded the Prathama Mantra, which is the Sutra Bhuta Vakya, to explain the Lakshana of the Brahma Tattva, the second sentence, which is a Rug Mantra, Rucha Mantra, it is given. What is that? Tat means Tasmin Prasange, Esha, Esha Ruk, Abhi Ukta. This Ruk mantra is said, read out to, given out to. For what? For telling the Lakshanas, and that Lakshanayukta Brahma alone is Atma, Atma alone is Sarvatma, that Sarvatma Brahma alone is without Samsara Lakshana. There only all mukti happens. To that, tell that Brahman only, the sentence came. Tadesha Abhyukta means this meaning. Then what is that sentence? What is the Brahma in its Lakshanas? How the Brahman is are defined or explained or indicated? अब कुछ भी करो शुरुआत में धीरे धीरे we go to the correct understanding. The Vakya given is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is Rigveda mantra. And in that only everything contained, our analysis or contemplation, if it is sufficient deep enough, of course, Bhashya helping us, then in that only, through this only, you can reach out it. Only 2-3 questions are asked. Where is this Brahman is available? How to achieve him? Where is it in the Hridaya Akasha? How to achieve? Obviously, you are now caught up in the Panchakosha. Through Viveka, you drop those Panchakosha, then you can reach to him. That's how these Upanishads, subsequent Anuvakas, deal with this subject. Okay. Now, fully attentively focus on this sentence exclusively. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So, as we have already seen that, these are the 4 words, Samanadikaranya, they are Samana Vibhakti. So, in that, 4 things will not come unless they are related. And the relation obviously is Ki Vishesha Visheshana. So, first to do the Nirdharana of what is Vishesha, the qualified, the Visheshanas, the qualifications. The object and the adjectives. Simple understanding is the context being Brahma, Brahman alone must be the Visheshya. What are the other 3? It's Visheshana. See how Bhagawan Adi Shankara's Bhashyam, same thing every day when we listen, study, the clarity comes to us. And it is the beginning. First sentence mein, what is Visheshana, what is Visheshya, we must know. So the Visheshanas are Satyam Jnanam Anantam and the Vishesha is Brahma. So the Brahma Vastu is to be known through these 3. Then the question comes, the Vishesha Visheshana Sambandha mein, ki when there are many things, there are Visheshanas required for it to separate from other things. When it's only one thing, what is the need of Visheshana? This is how the Purva Pakshis Prashna. How important is that, you see? When one Aditya is there, Aditya ko dekho, ho gaya. Safed Aditya ko dekho, you need not tell. Because there is no Kala Nila Aditya. Just like bring the Utpala is not a complete sentence. Because there are very many Utpalas are there. Therefore, the questioner should ask which Utpala. The answerer or the Guru should say Neela Utpala. Then again he says, sir, there are so many Neela Utpala. What to do? Which one to bring? Should I bring all of them? No, Mahat. The other small ones, why do you pluck them right now? Let them grow. Only big ones. Sir, big ones are also many. They are big, but they are not fully blossomed. 1 or 2 are blossomed, and you can feel them by its fragrance, Sugandhi. Therefore, only bring that. So, the Neelam, Mahat, Sugandhi are the Visheshanas have separated this lotus from all other Sajatiya lotuses. Therefore, even though when you bring this Deelam, Mahat, Brahad Utpalam, Sugandhi, still there are so many Utpalas lying there. Asugandhi are there, then Chote Wale bhi hai, then non-Neelam also are there. Extend now, in the water there are these lily flowers. Other than lily, there are lotuses also. Then off the waters, in the ground, there are hundreds and thousands of other flowers also are there. Of other names, other colors, other sizes, other fragrances, other seasonal. How many are there? Is that the Brahma Prapti like that? Think about this discussion. This is how the question of the Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi's question always helps Siddhanti to elaborately explain so that such doubts are eradicated and doubt free deep understanding comes. Because in every understanding of the worldly, also spiritual, also, sometimes the understanding is direct, straight, implied, easily. Many a times it is little detailed or complicated or gives rise to many questions. Because of our own experiences or our own state of misunderstanding, जो भी हो तो गुरु को आंसर देना पड़ता है. Then we are told here the most crucial, most important topic. What is that? Even though the Brahman is Lakshita with the Lakshanas of Satyam Jnanam Anantam, they are not such Lakshanas like the Visheshanas which describe a Visheshya. They are words, words have the meaning. Those meanings, remember, indicate Brahman, tell the Lakshana of the Brahman, yet they are not qualifying the Brahman. They are not defining the Brahman. They are not explaining the Brahman. They are not describing the Brahman. This is what we have to catch. And that is called as the Lakshana and Lakshita. And here, if you are very subtle, careful at this very moment, the final Rahasya is being revealed. What is that final Rahasya? Is ki Visheshanas separate the Vishesha from Sajatiya. But Lakshana, be attentive, separates the Lakshita from everything else. Okay? From everything else means what? There's nothing other than this. This alone. And in this alone, the Lakshana, Lakshita, Sambandha is that it is like sugar and sweetness. Though you are using the word, those you are talking as if one is the guna, another is guni. But they are such a one thing, you can't separate them actually. Is it not? Sugar is sweet, you may say. But can you separate them? By literature word, you may separate by using the word sugar and sweet. But actually, in its essence, this is what I said, the final thought. In the essence of it, can you separate the sugar from sweetness? Means, can there be a sugar which is non sweet? Other thing is, can you call a sugar anything other than which is sweet? Sugar cannot be separated with sweetness. Sweetness adjective or explanation cannot be given to anything other than the sugar there. So there are words used only, yet the words are not describing the object. It's not a description. That is what it is, a lakshana. How do you understand it? When you put the sugar in your mouth, it has to be sweet only. So too, when you put something in your mouth, if it is sweet, it has to be sugar only. If you can come so close in the understanding, in the same way, these three lakshanas which are told of Brahman are not only separating the Brahman from everything of Brahma, but these three are the words in such a way they are qualifying or explaining or describing, which are all wrong words, and indicating Brahman in such a way that this alone is Brahman. This way is the relation between these three words and Brahma Tattva. Not the way as Nila Mahat Sugandhi Utpalavat, though it appears like that. In this, what is happening? When you have taken up one Nila Mahat Sugandhi Utpalam, so many other Utpalams are there, or other flowers are there. And then other than flowers, the fruits are there, vegetables are there. Is it not? In case of Brahman, it is not so. Through these lakshanas, when the Lakshita Brahma is seen, be attentive. Other than that, nothing remains actually. And that Brahman, be attentive, is very much there in every of the seemingly other things other than Brahman, which were seen by us with our own ignorance of Brahman and using of the upadhis. उपाधियों के द्वारा देखे गए शब्द स्पर्श रूप रसगंधादि जो इंद्रियों से देखे जाते हैं, मन के द्वारा देखे गए इमोशंस, बुद्धि के द्वारा बना गए कॉन्सेप्ट्स जितने भी हैं, इन सब के आधारभूत एक ही ब्रह्म का हमें इन शब्दों के द्वारा दर्शन होने के पश्चात उस ब्रह्म के अलावा और कुछ नहीं है. कुछ है, बी अटेंटिव, तो वो ब्रह्म ही बी अटेंटिव. इस उपाधियों के द्वारा ऐसा देखा जा रहा है. Therefore, there is a particular subtle power called as Maya, which is dichotomizing Brahman alone, one side as the seer, other side as the instruments of seeing, third side as the objects that are seen. That will be the realization. That is Jnana Uttara Sthiti. Seer, seen, seeing, play goes on, but with the knowledge that one alone is playing these three. What is the purpose? No purpose. Attach the purpose, it becomes samsara. Like subtly, if you see in our Adhyatma Ramayana and other texts, when the Naradadi Rishi do the stuti of Narayana, they say, even though you have no purpose, yet you create the world, you come as an avatara, you do the Leela. These things we miss there to explain deliberately because it's a highly Vedantic thought. If we start that topic, it is very elaborate. The audience are of devotion type, they may not catch it. Therefore, we edit it that place. But otherwise, when it is said, ki without your any purpose you create world, without any purpose you come to an avatara, means what? Bhagavan's creating world and coming as avatara is not a samsara for him. So these are the very subtle, intricate things there. Okay. Now coming to the point, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, these three are the Lakshana of the Brahma, inasmuch as the sweetness or the fire is the burning power or the Lakshana of the sugar and the fire. You can't separate both of them. And what very important thought we should never miss is what? Unlike the adjectives separate the sajatiya vastus, because of the vastus are many but the lakshanas are different. In case of Brahman, there are no many other Brahman which have other lakshanas than Satchidananda or Satyam Jnananantam, that from them through these words we are separating Brahman. No. There is only one Brahman with Satchidananda Lakshana. There is no other Brahman, rather, there is nothing other than Brahman. Now, the very next sentence is, if you can catch, you can celebrate your life today. There is no other Brahman, only one Brahman is there. And there is nothing other than Brahman also. Now, the next sentence is crucial. These Brahma Lakshanas are Satchidananda. Then anything other than Brahman, if you are conceiving, imagining, that is not Brahman. Therefore, the Lakshanas of Brahman are not there in that. Brahma Lakshanas are Satchidananda. Therefore, opposite of these three is Asat, Achit, Anananda. Then how can you see a thing which is Asat, Achit, Anananda? असत कहते ही उसका एग्जिस्टेंस ही चला गया. आफ्टर दैट इवन अचित अनानंद कहने की भी जरूरत नहीं. Therefore, whole Jagat, which we are seeing with all forms, names and all, is bereft of Brahman, which is Sachidananda, or Asat, Achit, Anananda. They were unreal. Yet they are seen, that is called as Mithya. Why? Because of Maya. What to do? Avoid Maya. How? By seeing Satchidananda as Satchidananda. Don't attack the Maya. Don't fight with the Maya. Maya is only a catalyst. In the absence of our knowledge of self, it projects the not self. Maya has no guts when we know the self as it is to project the non existing not self. Like when I apprehend the rope as rope, then the illusion has no power to project the snake on the rope for me. It is only I am giving Maya to become active when I am not seeing the rope as rope. Directly attacking the snake or the Maya will never help us. What helps us is see the rope as rope, then the Maya gone, Maya Janita, this snake also gone. So too, don't worry about the Rupanamatmaka Jagat. Don't worry about Upadhis, etc. Then be concerned about the Brahma, whose Lakshanas are through Satchidananda. So through these words of Satchidananda, with all the patience, not worried or concerned about anything else. When you reach the Brahma Anubhuti, suddenly the delusion created world of multiplicity, they all fizzle out. When they fizzle out, you have to do nothing. When you know the rope, the snake is gone, then what do you do with that snake? You are afraid of it, you want to send it away, you want to catch it, you want to beat it, you want to kill it, you want to charm it. क्या करना चाहते हो? हो है ही नहीं, अब करोगे क्या? Therefore, at the level of this subtle Brahma Jnana, through this thing, the control of the Upadhi, the mastering of the Upadhi, the transcending of the Upadhi, all of them become meaningless. Because Upadhis are not at all there. What is there to Paramatma? But then, to become qualified for this Brahma Vidya, we have to, because we are at the absolute slavery level of these Upadhis, which are not allowing us to be qualified for Brahma Tattva, we have to do these sadhanas. You understand now? The need of the Karma Bhakti Ashtanga Yoga is to make us qualified for Brahma Vidya. After we become qualified through Brahma pursuit, Brahma Vidya pursuit, we discover Brahman. In that, all these things are no more required. So, ये सबका समझदारी and putting all of them in proper line is called as complete understanding. Then our sadhana becomes without any problem. So we have explained yesterday up to these are the lakshanas of Brahman, inasmuch as they are inseparable lakshanas, and then this lakshana yukta Brahman is pulled out from everything other than that. Therefore, everything other than Sachidananda is Abrahma. Therefore, everything other than Brahma is Asat Achit Ananda. See, in these words, when you think 2-3 times, the clarity comes. What is Brahma? Sachidananda. What Sachidananda is doing, because it's a Lakshana, it is separating Brahman for everything else. Therefore, what is everything else other than Brahman? Then what is Brahma? Sachidananda. Therefore, what should be everything other than Brahman? Asat, Achit, Ananda. Therefore, do they exist? No. Why Asat? There are two words you have to understand. One is first word, Brahman is Sat. Point one. Second, Brahman Eva is Sat. Alone is Sat. Brahman Eva Sat. Brahma is Sadvastu. Satyam Jnanavan. Satyam is Brahma. And other than Brahman is Satyam, Brahman alone is Satyam. That's why Brahma Satyam. Whatever other thing, Asatyam. But it is appearing, it is Mithya. You understand? That Mithya mein vyavaharik sattha, sadhana ke liye satta hai. More than that, it is not. Okay? Up to this we saw. I'm just repeating what we saw last 2-3 days for my own pakka clarity and to the wonderful, beloved audience who are so sincere and regular guts they have in winter to get up morning and sit for Upanishad class. They deserve it. Those aram se so rahe, they deserve that. But you deserve repeated talking on this topic so that the subject becomes clear. These four sentences of this Upanishad, Pratama Anuvaka, Dvitiya Valli, first four sutras of Yoga Darshanam, if you are thorough, then you can leave me and go and do your sadhana. You are allowed, you are free. If you catch it completely, exhaustively. Okay? Yeah? Now, the second topic the Bhagavan has taken up, Bhashyakara, is the Satyam Jnanam Anantam. These three words are not anywhere related to each other. Don't try to find some meaning in their mutual relation. It's a waste of effort. There is no relation between Neelam, Mahat, and Sugandhi. But each of them have direct relation with the Utpalam. Neela Utpalam, Maha Utpalam, Sugandhi Utpalam. Manas Upat Utpalam, Neela Mahat Sugandhi have no relation. Same way, Satyam has no relation with Jnanam, Jnanam has no relation with Anantam, Anantam has nothing with Satyam. But all the three are directly related to the Brahman. So all the three should be used to reach Brahman. Okay? And one of them is used to reach Brahman. Whether we reach the Brahman or not is ensured by seeing is that Brahman satisfying the other two or not. That way it helps. And let us go little more. Only in these three words, Brahman is achieved. It is complete. It is sufficient. There is no fourth word required to explain Brahman. And anything other than Brahman has none of these three qualities. Therefore, all that is a Brahma. Clear? And these three qualities, for example, first one, the Satyam, because Satyam means the truth, other things other than Satyam, because therefore they are untrue. But they appear. We are lost in the appearance. Appearing to the Jnana Rahita Buddhi, which is a slave to the projected mana, projecting mana, and the perceiving senses. Jnana Rahita Buddhi following the mana which has projection ability, senses which have perception ability. Because of these two, the non existing world is appearing to be existing. But in the world, whatever you see, it has in its substratum existence. That is what is Brahman. Therefore, the existence aspect is Brahman, is reality. Anything other than is unreal. This we have to so deeply contemplate hundreds of times that we thoroughly establish in it. Then actually we start really rejecting by devaluing everything other than existence called as Rupanama. At that level only, our inner journey toward the core or the self happens. This is said in this way only. And in the conclusion of the journey, what is seen? That Satchidananda Brahma alone is me. Satchidananda Brahma alone is Jagat. Therefore, as a Satchidananda, I alone am there in the form of Jiva Jagat Ishvara. For play. Don't ask reason for play. Just play if you want, otherwise you withdraw. खेलना है तो खेलो, नहीं तो छोड़ो. ना जीत है ना हार है उसमें, ना कोई पर्पस है. Okay, therefore, what are the sentence should be read to be unambiguous? See, that is the audacity of Shruti Mata. She will talk like that. It is our intelligence or genius that we should understand what Shruti Mata exactly talking. You and I cannot do that. Therefore, the Bhashyakara helps us. Yeah, what is the help of Bhashyakara done in this regard? Shruti Mata said, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Bhashyakara tells us, it is not that these first three are related, then they are related to the fourth, like the three bogies are connected to the engine in the train. It is this way to be read. Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma. It should be read like that. To be very specific, clear in understanding. Shruti Mata means that only. But she has no patience or time, she need not have. She is addressing to a high level of rishi type of disciples or students. उनको कैसा भी बोलो वो समझते हैं. They are so much tuned. And Shruti Mata always spares her efforts. Why should she so elaborately explain when the audience are of high caliber? Satyam Jnanantam, Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam. But Shankara Bhagavan is required for us to say that Satyam Jnanam Anantam are not related to each other. Each one of them are related to Brahma. Therefore, Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma. Now he takes up the next responsibility of explaining what is the meaning of Satyam and Brahma. Then he takes the second one. Then he takes the third one. In that also, when he takes the first one while explaining Satyam Brahma, if the Satyam is discovered as Brahma, that discovered Brahma, is it qualifying the second, the Jnanam also? Is it qualifying the third, the Anandam also? Then only Brahman is reached. Because though each of these three are independently related to Brahman from their side, but from Brahma side, Brahman should have all these three. Now reverse the sentence. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is Upanishad Vakya. Satyam Brahma, Jnanam Brahma, Anantam Brahma is Adi Shankara's Vakya. What we have to understand, Brahma Satyam, Brahma Jnanam, Brahma Anantam. The Brahma is only Satyam but not other two. Understanding is not complete. Jnanam but not other two, not understood. Anantam but not other two. Then that Brahma, because you can see, ब्रह्म सत्य पता किया बट वो ज्ञानम नहीं है तो जड़ हो जाएगा. ब्रह्म को सत्य और ज्ञान जान ली, अनंतम नहीं है तो फिर वो शांतम हो जाएगा, फिर इट इज एंडफुल. वी आर नॉट हियर टू फाइंड दैट विच इज एंडफुल, वी आर एंडलेस. So too we are discussing about something as endless, anantam. But again, if it is not jnanam, then it is jadam. That which is jadam, it cannot be the anantam. So it is a contradiction. But you are talking about jnanam anantam, but it is not sat or satyam. Then it is asatyam. You are only talking about the thing which is not there. Like Shashavishana, they say. These are all discussions going to come in our next 4 pages. The horns of a rabbit or that. Rabbit. Hair, it's called H-A-R-E. Not Hare Rama wala H-A-R-E Rama. The rabbit and hair, horns. You may talk a word, a sentence. Horns have a habit. Throughout the world, wherever you go, you don't find a rabbit with a horn. A word with meaning but existing, the object is not existing. So too, Jnanam Anantam, but not it is Satyam, means it is not there. But we don't want that non-existing Brahman. We want existing. Now you see, we have not yet entered into the detail of Bhashyam. We are trying to understand how Bhagavan Bhashyakara is going to guide us. And this is all we will be able to do only when we are at the Ekagra Bhumika level, where the chitta is not troubled by the Tamoguna, Nidra and all, and Rajoguna of extrovertedness or distraction into objects, things, people, situations, cravings, desires. अब इतने चीजों में फंसा हुआ चित्त, how will it be able to understand these subtle things? Is it not? Therefore, it is not an emotional, sentimental compulsion that we have to detach from the gross and subtle worlds for becoming qualified for spiritual. It is the way. This is how it has to be. It's not emotion, sentiments, etc. Like 6.5 footer, 6 footer only is given job in army. Why not I am 4 feet? You are 4 feet, you can't lift the gun. Don't become emotional. You can become soldier wala job, engineering, technical side जा सकते, but not with a rifle on the borders. Your height will not help like that. But still, how this Gorkha regiment is there, I don't know. I have to discuss. Okay, now first thing we saw yesterday. These are all what we saw last 2-3 days exhaustively. And uska summary, trying for becoming more clear and more deeper and more pakka in our understanding. Satyam word is taken for explanation yesterday. We have given sufficient time. Today also we'll ponder over it. Therefore, at least that thing we become clear today. Then the Jnanamanantam tomorrow. Okay. Never ever lifelong forget this sentence or this definition of the Satyam. In this only again every masala of the Vedanta Vishaya Avagahana is there. Satyam iti. Now I am explaining you Satyam. Bhagavan Bhashyakara says, what? Yad rupena yad nishchitam tad rupam na vyabhicharati tat Satyam. Yad rupena yad nishchitam, yad rupena yad nishchitam, yad rupena yad nishchitam. You go on saying this till you remember sentence. Yad rupena yad nishchitam, yad rupena yad nishchitam. Second, tat na vyabhicharati, tat na vyabhicharati, tat na vyabhicharati. Third one, tat satyam, tat satyam, tat satyam. Now, after becoming qualified, remembering these three words, what is the first one? Yad rupena yad nishchitam. Second, tad na vyavicharati. Third, tat satyam. Yad rupena yad nishchitam, tad rupam na vyavicharati, tat satyam. Yat rupena yat nishchitam, tad rupam na vyavicharati, tat satyam. संस्कृत में याद रखना पहले. It is easy to translate in other language. Without Sanskrit basic, other language thing will be confusing and not giving that joy. So, yat rupena yat nishchitam, tat rupam na vyavicharati. Chet, you can say in brackets, tat satyam. So, therefore, whenever we talk about something, we do some nischaya of that. That nischaya of that is exclusive to that, and it doesn't overlap in other things. Okay, you talk about something, its exclusive property is told, and that property is not in other things, not entering into or percolating other thing, then that is called as its satyam. Yad rupena yad nishchitam, tad rupam na vyavicharati, tat satyam. See, feel the meaning of it. Then take example, it becomes easier. Again, the example of the fire. What is the rupa of the fire? The not the unmanifest, the manifest fire. It has to be hot and also light. Hot वाला discuss करो पहले. So the fire is nishchitam in the hotness rupa, and in any period of time, anywhere in the world, in any condition, this rupa of the fire called as hotness or burning power, उसका व्यभिचार होता है क्या? व्यभिचार मीन्स वो अलग होता है, चला जाता है क्या? उसकी जगह और कुछ होता है क्या? Will it change? Means what? Will the hotness of the fire goes away anywhere, or will there be a fire where it is without hotness? Both ways. Hotness फायर को छोड़ को जा रहा है, और फायर ने ही hotness को छोड़ दिया. That means a hotness without fire or a fire without being hot. Do you ever imagine? You cannot. Therefore, that rupam called as the hotness or burning power is called as satyam of that fire. So too the sweetness of sugar. Yad rupena yad nishchitam tad rupam na vyavjarat tat satyam. Very good. Satyam is explained. Now it has to be substantiated with the opposite word of the satyam called as anrutam. Second is what? Yad rupena yad nishchitam tad vyabhicharat tad na satyam. Then what it is? Anrutam. Pausing I am for you to allow the sentence to enter into us. Yad rupena yad nishchitam tad rupam na vyabhicharati tad satyam. Yad rupena yad nishchitam tad vyabhicharat cheta tad na satyam. It is anrutam. Therefore, yat tadrupam anrutam iti uchyate. Therefore, what is the vyabhicharanam? Means not staying as it is but changing. Okay? That changing is called as vikaraha. Therefore, vikara is anrutam. Now, it is such a subtle sentence. Now, apply it in everything in the world. Be attentive. In the world, everything is going through vikara or not? In this world, everything is going through vikara or not? You see, yeah. विकार of किसका हो रहा है? Be attentive to the question. Vikara is of Rupanama. Therefore, the Rupanama is Anrutam. But behind Rupanama, there is something on which the Rupanama is projected and the Rupanama is changing. That is not changing. Like the gold. Yad Rupena Yad Nishchitam Tat Satyam. The gold is gold. Now take the ornament. Ornament is Nishchitam as ornament, but Tad Vyabhicharat. That it can be melted and taken into other form. Therefore, the ornamentation on the gold, because it is modifying, it is Anrutam. And what is the ornamentation? Nothing but a form given to a name. What form is given to what? To the gold only. Therefore, on the gold is Satyam. On that, the ornamentation and its name are Anrutam. Only for example's sake. So to the pots and mud, you can example clothes and the thread or cotton, water and wave. With all these examples, we have to understand the concept or the idea very clearly. Now, what is the next level of meditation or understanding is what? In this way, when that which doesn't change is defined as Satyam, everything which is changes is Anrutam. This Satyam, be attentive, is not an object. On the seat of inquiry, that Sadvastu has to be me only. For two reasons. One reason is what? In front of me, everything is changing. I am not changing. Second is what? When we reject all these changes on the seat of meditation, we reach to that changeless thing. Ittefaq se, as it is said in Hindi Urdu, that changeless thing is found to be me only. And that means what? Not changing. Therefore, that is Satyam. Therefore, that is Brahma. See, this is called contemplation. And in that inquiry, there is no object substantial of Rupa Nama, everything found. Anything. Rupa Nam to Vikari hai na, usko मैं छोड़ ही दिया. That is why we are saying Satyam, which is called Brahman, which is called Atma, is not any object seen by any of the upadhis, etc. It is an anubhuti. That anubhava is me. Instead of that, today I am becoming the anubhavi of various things and dukhi also because I am living at the level of upadhis, whose job is to have the anubhava of everything. And because that anubhava is of bitterness, etc., I feel I am also miserable. This we will see now in the fourth sutra of the Patanjali Yoga Darshana. Vritti sarupya vitaratra, all that. So, this is homework for all of us to discuss this thing. Yad rupena, yad nishchitam, tad rupam, na vyavicharat. Vyavicharat means changing, modifying, becoming otherwise. It's called vyavicharat. Na vyavicharat, tat satyam. Yad rupena, yad nishchitam, like you have decided the ornament. But that vyavicharat, that going on changing, therefore that is na satyam. What is not satyam is called anrutam. Now, the most important thing what we have to focus on is what? Therefore, vikaraha anrutam. In the because the absence of the contemplation, the vikaras are observed, or because of using of the wrong instruments, the vikaras are observed. But really seen, the vikara is not at all there. Like, did the water go through any vikara when it is appearing as the wave? एक्चुअल पानी में कोई फर्क हो रहा है क्या? नहीं हो रहा. And what is the waveness on the water? It is going on changing, therefore it is anrutam. Think about it. In the same way, there is some non-objectifiable subjective experience is in me called as satyam, which is always satyam. which never goes through any modification. Therefore, to reach to that, obviously, all the modifying vikaras, vikara yukta vishayas, we have to keep on rejecting. So everything objective, everything changeable, everything perishable. When all that is rejected by saying neti neti neti, that which is not the object but subject, that which is not changeable but changeless, that which is not dying or modifiable, therefore non-dying, always purely existing, existence, be attentive, is experienced as me. Therefore, I am pure existence. From that standpoint, everything is supported by the existence, therefore I am the support of everything. That the support of this Panchakosha is Atma, the same is support of everything Panchakosha or world, therefore is Brahma. Atma and Brahma are only words to use. Otherwise, they are not two things. Like the hall space and outer space. Only the words used. Otherwise, they are not two space that way. Smaller and bigger. Because within the wall, it is called as inner hall space. Outside, outer big space. Inner and outer hall and big are only useless words. Space is neither in nor out nor small nor big. So to the आत्मा एंड ब्रह्म दो नहीं है कि ब्रह्म बड़ा है आत्मा छोटा है. पांच उपाधि के अंदर है इसलिए वो दम घुट रहा है, ये बाहर है इसलिए नाच रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होता. इस वन clear? So this much we will see. See, then satyamiti yad rupena yad nishchitam tad rupam na vyabicharati tad satyam yad rupena nishchitam yat tad rupam vyabicharat anrutam adi iti uchyate atah vikaraha anrutam. Quotation is vacharambadam vikaraha namadheyam murtiga ityeva satyam iti chandogye evam sadeva satyam. Therefore, in another place, चांदोग्य में बताते हैं कि सत एव सत्यम. So that sat vastu means what? The abstract looking, pure existence alone is satyam. On that existence, anything vikara seen is anrutam because satyam never changes. You like water never changes by itself, but you can imagine wave and all. Some reason makes it appear as wave, but it never changes the water. Some reason made the gold appear as ornament, but gold never changed. This sentence, iti avadharanat ataha satyam brahma iti brahma vikarat nivartayati. Conclude here today. So, brahma is that which is satyam. Therefore, brahma is that which is satyam. Satyam is avikari. Therefore, that which is vikara rahita is brahman. श्री विकारिणाम सर्व विकार वेत्ता स्वयं विकारो भवितुम न समर्हति. All these shlokas in Vivek Chodamani. The one who is the knower of all the vikara, but himself doesn't go through vikara. Vikara is modification, changes. He is called as Brahma. So our therefore, after this understanding, what is sadhana? Seat of dhyana mein, everything vikaravan, changeable, modifying, we can go on rejecting as this is not Brahman, this is not Brahman, not. When all the rejection is done, where you reach a point of non-modifying, is the Brahma, is the Rutam, is the Satyam, is the Satta, is Atma. And it is an Anubhava. It is not an intellectual concept. It is not not a perception of the senses. Don't ask, is that Brahma Neela hai ki pila hai ki kala hai, like the Utpala? Is it sweet or sour, like the mango or any of the avla? Avla chawla nahi hota ho. It is an emotion of love or it is emotion of anger. Is it a concept made by the intellect? Please remember, that is an inexplicable अनुभूति. अरे महाराज, अगर उसको बोला होता, बोलने का हो जाता तो इतना झंझट क्यों वेदांत की सूक्ष्मताओं का? That is what, with all hitting their head, the gurus are saying, this is not an object seen by any of the upadhi. It is a subject which illumines all the upadhi and what they are doing. Yet Shrotrena na Shrunoti Yena Shrotravidam Shrutam is not a tongue twisting sloka said by the Guru to add to the already confused students' confusion. It is a struggle of the Guru, that is the only way it can be told. Yet Shrotrena na Shrunoti Yena Shrotravidam Shrutam. Like that which is not pursued by any Upadhi, but because of which Upadhis are working, that is Brahman. Why is it said? Because of this reason. But the Taittiriya with Bhashyam takes us more close for our understanding and gives substantial guidance for meditation. अब इसको दो ही बातें पकड़ना, यद विकारी तद अनृतम, यद अविकारी तद सत्यम. Therefore, Brahman is Satyam is equal to Avikari. Therefore, we have to reach to that Brahman which is Satyam, which is Avikari. Therefore, you have to reject all the Anrutam. And what is Anrutam? Vikari. Therefore, reject all the Vikari, then you have rejected all Anrutam. Then what remains is the Avikari Satyam, which is Rutam and Brahma. This is what meditation know about inside. Now, which are the meditation teaching gurus talking about this? On the name of meditation, except Brahma Jnana Anubhuti, everything else they are doing. And all those things give their own respective beautiful results. But none of the results are as beautiful as the result of Brahmajnana, called as the permanent moksha from all limitations. Clear? We'll see the remaining tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll study the Jnanam and Anantam, then club all these three. Then it will go for next 4-5 days because lot of question answer the disciple will say. So tomorrow, having done this, I'll go to the next Purvapakshis Prashna. Then after studying it, we come back and summarize it. Please give me time and chance to discuss this Taittiriya Brahmananda Valli as detailedly, as many times repeatedly as required as well as possible. And I request you to attend. Okay, आप बोलते जाओ हम भाग जाएंगे, ऐसा मत करो. I am Ekalavya, you are Dronacharya. You have to sit in front, at least as a murti, so that I can learn my vidya. Is it not? So be there and try to tune. Definitely, if not today, tomorrow the understanding will come. And you see today's introduction of 40 minutes, when we repeated what we said yesterday, day before, has not given us a chance to listen and understand some more thing and again forget. So therefore, for you to forget, first you must learn. To learn, you have to come regularly. Om, 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 Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnamevāvashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarashibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Nam Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you. Let us spend some 20 minutes in studying our Yoga Darshanam, which is complementing our Vedanta Darshanam.